Hey guys, it's about a quarter to 10 Sunday night. This is a sort of an update on the whole stimulus package thing, what's going on, and I guess a little rant about this whole problem. You know, basically, it's a whole problem with America. I mean, we just fucked up with all of these issues, and the coronavirus is bringing all these issues out. All these issues, financial issues. These obviously these politicians, race, the corruption with police forces, and this is not just in America. Really, it's all around the world that this coronavirus is bringing out the whole problem with this world, but specifically because I live in America. First, the stimulus package thing. They was coming back Saturday to vote on money, a bill, so that they can give the post office help. I guess $25 billion. Even though the post office said they don't really need that money for whatever reason or whatever the deal is. They said they're gonna get the voting out securely and things like that. So what the politicians so urgently wanted to give them money for is not necessary. At any rate, they came back Saturday. Brought the senators back so they can pass this bill. And we was hoping that since they bringing them back and they have been filling on the bills to give Americans money right now, at least $1,200, but we need more. Hopefully they would just put this in this bill and pass it. That was all wrong. First of all, they was only coming back specifically for one thing only, and that's to have a vote on a bill to give to the post office. They did it. They passed it. It's $25 billion. Whatever the situation is with the post office and our mail and different shit, which we don't really give too much shit about. We need money on our debit cards and direct deposit it in our accounts. We don't fucking need a check. But they didn't come back for that. They still failing on that. But they got the post office taken care of. They okay now. But in that bill, it had nothing to do with coronavirus, nothing. And it wasn't called the skinny bill that the Republicans just came out with outside of their heels bill. The skinny bill is different. And even in the skinny bill, that's just an AKA name. The skinny bill is really giving money to Americans and families and all of that. In that skinny bill, it didn't, in the draft, it's a draft of the skinny bill. What they wrote out when you're drafting it is going to change. It's negotiations. But in that skinny bill, it didn't mention the $1,200 straight to citizens. But we already know that all the parties, Republicans, Democrats, the president, etc., all agree that we need another stimulus bill to help people in crisis. Not only cash money, obviously the unemployment thing, the eviction notice, the eviction protection is needed. Even though that's kind of you got to think about that eviction thing. I mean, if they suspend evictions for a certain amount of time, that don't mean the money that people owe on his rent is going away. When that runs out, if it's been 3 months since you paid your bills, your rent is still going to be there, and it's going to be crisis at that time. But at any rate, in the skinny bill, they didn't mention the 12, but yesterday, Mark Meadows, or whatever his name is, the House Speaker, the dude is speaking for Republicans, in the White House, on his interview after they passed a bill for the post office, he said that he's still hopeful that they're going to get a bill passed. Don't know what name it is. It could be the Heroes Act. It could be the Hills Act. It could be the Skinny Bill, and all of that. He still hopefully that's going to happen. He said that he feel confident because both parties have already had a lot of agreements. They already agreed that we need money for kids, sending them back to school, this whole, whatever the schools need, or maybe even the parents who keeping these kids at home, they need money. He said also they all agreed on the citizens of America need another stimulus check to all Americans. He didn't say the $1,200, but he said a stimulus check. We all set on $1,200 because that's basically what we're hearing, but it could be different at the end of the day when they finally get it signed. But he's saying that also, extending unemployment and helping with evictions. He said they all agree on these things. What they can't agree on is for the Republicans, they feel that the Democrats are asking for too much money. They want $3 trillion on this bill, but they really want, he's saying the Democrats want $1 trillion just for state and local help, whatever that is. And he's saying that's too much, which I'm sure is including $600 a week for unemployment that the Democrats wanted to keep giving, and probably other things. He's saying that's too much, and that's why they can't agree. The Republicans denying it. The Democrats saying that the Republicans, they want to do these tax cuts, do what they do, make the rich richer, and they want to give tax cuts and things, but they only want to spend $1 trillion on the whole package, which ain't gonna give much money to all parties to do what they really want to do. Which like one of the other YouTubers on this stimulus update thing said, look, and I agree with him, neither party's gonna get everything they want. I don't know why they playing these games, why they holding up money they already know they got to give to people and stuff. I'm sure there's another motive to all of this from what they telling us, even what he's saying. So who knows what the deal is. But also Mark Meadows, which is the top speaker for the Republicans, said they also agree that some people missed out on money the last time, and they both agree that these people need to get money. Now I'm not saying he said any of what I'm about to say as far as what he mean by that, but I'm assuming he meaning, for one, dependents. Some dependents only got $500. Some people that had dependents on their taxes got none. I'm hoping he mentioned this because in the Heroes Act, the Democrats mentioned this, that people who had garnishments, like child support specifically, end up getting no money. And they needed money for their families and their stay home. And I'm hoping they agreeing on that part, because he mentioned that, Mark Meadows. So that's kind of good news that they still saying that they want to give stimulus checks, giving some Americans who missed out on money some money. Hopefully it don't be next year. I mean, that's kind of too late. Hopefully maybe when they, just the thing, since they didn't vote on no stimulus package and they sending those senators back home, those folks don't come back for all of these negotiations and stuff until September 8th. Unless Nancy Pelosi, like she said, bring them back and they get this done. She said that's what she's going to do, but I don't see that's happening. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just another one of those things. the cast. One of those things, they just telling us something. So, this fucking world is crazy. That's it on this whole stimulus thing. You know, it's not going the way it should. There ain't nothing, no negotiations. They keep saying they agree on this, agree on that, but nothing getting done. Blase, blase. You know, we struggling out here, and shit is still happening. For instance, you know, I don't know names. I don't even know where this was at, but I'm sure y'all seen it where some guy, it was a black guy, you know, looked like he was middle-aged, that was living in this neighborhood or something, and this kid, which was a white kid, you know, was outside. I think the kid could have been 5 to 7 years old or 8 or something. He was a real kid, and the man came out, shot the little kid in the head in front of the kid's sister, out on the block, for no apparent reason. They wasn't fighting the families, and nothing was going on. It just happened, you know. And unfortunately, with all the shit that's going on, his black ass was black, and the kid was white. You know, I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but in our eyes right now, of course it do. I mean, it's a lot of shit going on, and really, like this other dude was saying on the internet, he was really mad because what happened to George Floyd and this whole killing and the past stuff, that, you know, it's been a big ruckus all over the world and on the internet about Black Lives Matter and different stuff. But this kid gets shot in the head by this black man, and there ain't no protesting, it ain't no all lives matter, nothing. And yeah, it's outrage, because I mean, damn, I don't know what was wrong with dude. I don't really care if he black or white or whatever the hell. That was I mean, you can't put nothing, compare one life to the other. That was a kid. That was a kid. I can't imagine what unbalanced, what was going on in his mind. You know, I'm pretty sure, and this is just messed up to say sort of, but if it was on video and we would have seen it like we seen George Floyd's murder, it would have been more. You know, we kind of these things, we got this thing now that if we see it, I mean, it's always been this way. You see it, if you feel different about it. Like when we got hit, the terrorists hit the Twin Towers, you know, I'm living Toledo. You know, that was in New York. You know, if I would have heard about it on the news, damn, we just got hit, you know, at the Twin Towers. But when I seen it on the news, and that plane, because I seen the second one hit, I didn't see the first one, but as I turned on the news, because my partner called me and said, dude, we just got hit, you know, and I thought he was joking. I turned on it, and as soon as I turned on the news, that's exactly when the second plane was hitting. And because I seen it, the first thing went through my mind was they was hitting my government center down here in Toledo. I felt like I was being attacked. So to relate that back, we didn't really see the kid get killed, and I think that's why it's not, you know, out there like that, and it's just, you know, and I'm glad I didn't, because that could, man, I mean, George Floyd getting killed, it was terrible. A dude going out and killing a kid, that's bad. That's just how bad the world is. You know, all these things is going on, and all we needed was the excuse, like this plague, to put us all in this. You know, and this is all over the world. You know, in some countries like China, I mean, they having the worst floods they've had in their whole existence, and the governments there is not helping none of those folks out. Where they, you know, they doing a little bit of something, but most of those folks, you know, have to find their own places. It's thousands of homes and thousands of people and millions of people, you know, out of homes, and they not getting no stimuluses or none of that kind of shit. You know, North Korea, them mugs, I mean, I don't know if you know about North Korea, but they can't even watch what's going on in the world. You see what I'm saying? They don't know nothing about none of this shit. protesting and nothing. They secluded. They government won't let them get regular TV. They internet. You can't just get free. The whole country got internet and you can just get it. You got to if you got internet there, I imagine. It's run by the government and they only show things that's going on in their country, which is mostly their dictator and the military. If you ever seen what's going on in Korea, North Korea. What all this got to do with the stimulus shit? They ain't got nothing to do with us getting checks. I'm gonna skip over that. This is what the deal is. I still believe with all the things I'm seeing, with all the information and the interviews and things like that, it's still possible. It's still a good chance we're going to get a stimulus check. Nothing specific about who going to get it, how much. They really haven't said that. Actually, this whole $1,200, we just basing it on what we got the last time and what they had put in. They did put numbers in the HEROES Act and the HEALS Act. Both of them kind of specified that a $1,200 one-time check to the Americans. So that is some basis on think that it's going to be another check for $1,200 and it's going to be a one-time thing. I know we need $2,000 or maybe a retroactive check from all the months we missed for $3,000. Some people with 4 people in their family might even get $10,000. That sounds good, don't it? I doubt if that happened. So and even on the post office thing, from what I do understand, they did vote on it, but it ain't went to the Senate and up to the Senate vote and to the president. With the way it's saying that they might even get it, knocked down for the money to the post office. So they might not even get help, even though they said in their letter that they didn't need that help, which kind of confused me too, because they've been saying that the post office has been losing money for years. So I don't know what that's all about. It's politics. I'm not a politician. I'm not even into politics. I'm into getting some information on getting this $1,200, because it do make a difference to some folks. Just that $1,200 can help some, but that $1,200 for some other folks is just a drop in the bucket. They rent or mortgage or whatever is at least $1,200. They got kids, you know what I'm saying? And if you got a couple of kids, and you're behind on bills and food and different things, $1,200 ain't shit. So, again, this week, there's nothing to be said. They're not coming back and saying they're going to vote or nothing, because all the senators going back to their states and continue their politicianing. And we can't really expect anything to change until at least September 8th. Nancy Pelosi said she was going to bring them back, but they brought them back for the post office, but nothing towards stimulus checks. And September 8th is right around the corner. It's only a couple weeks away. And then when they come back then, it's up in the air. Do they already have, some agreements and they can get it signed, or are they going to still be negotiating all the way through September? We don't know. I don't understand. And that's kind of weird for me to say to myself that I don't understand, because when you read things and you look at the world, you kind of understand, even though you can't do nothing about it. But I don't understand. How is they letting people get evicted, sit around with no unemployment or getting $300 a week unemployment, plus whatever they're getting from the local. They got the money. They got the money sitting right there. It's kind of weird for a government to be doing that. Both sides. One side come on the interview, the Democrats say the Republicans don't want to do this and do that, and then the Republicans saying the same thing about Democrats. It's kind of weird, you know. Can't do shit about it, you know. The recovery process, you can't send a person after all of these months of out of jobs, businesses is going down, different stuff, send somebody $1,200 and expect things to be all right. I know they don't think that. So this is my rant part that I'm doing on this whole situation. You know, the COVID-19, you know, they don't have no answer. They sending kids back to school, knowing kids gonna party, kids gonna, you know, little kids gonna be playing and they ain't gonna be able to keep on their masks, you know, especially when they eating lunches and different stuff and talking, and they gotta do some playing. I mean, kids, you don't go to school 6th grade and under and different stuff and don't expect to play with you. I mean, that's the main thing. And then you ain't into college and different stuff and don't have parties. You can't expect a person to change all that. COVID and stuff is going to get worse. Plus, flu season is right around the corner. COVID-19 is a flu-type virus. Really, it's kind of like it's going to just make the flu 10 times worse and 100 times more contagious. With no cure, no vaccine. I understand. Money drives the fucking world. Colleges, bars, liquor stores, restaurants. You know, people got to have parties. I'm seeing all the time, parties. You know, hey, we having a party at Walbridge Park this weekend. You know what I'm saying? Come. You know, saying shit like that. Come. You know, it's going to be DJ and all that. Inviting people to this type of shit. Just for defiance. Playing games. You know? So either we got people out here shooting each other every day. Here in Toledo, last week it was 5 killings. 1 each day in 5 days. 5 killings in 5 days. You know, maybe some cities or states or whatever have even more killings, like Chicago or, you know, I don't know where. Kids getting shot. The kid that got shot the other day, that was one out of a lot of kids that got shot this year from people. I hate to say this because it hurts. Mainly black men, young black men, shooting each other and kids. Even though the other day it was young kids, these young boys shot. They was under 18, was shot, and then they was shooting. We all know where all these guns coming from. I mean, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of guns to all of these people. This fucking world is crazy. Look, if there's some news, you know, I'll put it on here. I'm kind of waiting on different news, some good news, not to keep coming on every day saying, guess what? Finally, stimulus check. And then say some shit like, but there's no agreements. I'm not going to do that. But when I get some news, I'm going to come on and share some news. Although, when I feel like ranting, I'm going to do that too. About child support, these killings every day, COVID-19 cases getting worse again. And here in Ohio, we in the red. You know what I'm saying? That means ours going up, our cases, our deaths, all that is going up, but it's all around the whole world. You know, these tests is terrible. Now we starting to find out all these tests is coming back false positive. You know, so it could be a lot more positives than said, or it could be a lot of negatives. Who knows? Even though I don't care if you're positive or negative, whatever the hell it is, it ain't no cure. You can test everybody in the goddamn world today, and you still ain't cured it. And it's still gonna rise because you still gotta send people to work. Quarantine people, especially kids. You went to school. Some kids was tested positive, so we want all of y'all kids to go home somehow, and quarantine for 14 days to see if you know, get worse or not. We in trouble. The governments have no clue what to fucking do. They don't have no cure. If they had a cure, even a vaccine, guess what? They got computers that can send spaceships and different shit to planets that's billions of miles away on their own. They calculate shit that we couldn't imagine. I don't care how much test tubing we do, the computers already know every element, every measurement. If it was a cure, they would have it right away. Just type it in the computer. You type in the DNA and constructions and things of this COVID-19 that they know, and the computer can tell you, guess what, there's a cure. This is what a cure that. It would have did that for flu, cold, AIDS, cancer, unless they already got the cure but they don't want to put it out. Because I've said this a long time. There's too many people on this planet, and it's not enough resources, jobs, or just fucking things to do for 8 billion people on this planet. In order for us to make it and not make the same mistake the Romans and a whole bunch of other civilizations who just outpopulated their ability to, you know, not only control, but, you know, resources and all of that. In order for us not to make that mistake, we need to get, 3 billion people need to go. Even though I believe 4 billion people to be a little bit too much for this planet, for the simple fact, with robots and technology, we just don't need it like that anymore. You know, they do the jobs for us. And there's not enough people to do, there's too many people. And it ain't gonna be enough jobs. You know? I don't know if you agree with that or not, but it's what I believe. I've seen, you know, in history, by, you know, documentaries and things that it's been big time civilizations who failed just because they had too many citizens. And they couldn't handle it no more. The resources where they lived at couldn't handle it no more. And that's what's going on now. You know? So, you know, not saying that they put this out so that can happen. I don't fucking know. But think about it. Look. No answer yet. I still personally believe we're going to get a stimulus sooner or later. Maybe for Christmas, you know, like December 15th or something. They finally send everybody a stimulus check. You know, after the elections. You know what I'm saying? You re-elect me, and then I get this pass. I'm not gonna say that, but you can read between the lines. The election's about to come up in a couple of months. You know, we really, you know, this can work for us in a couple of different ways. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to see where all of this is going to go, because they don't even know with the whole sending people back to work, sports. You know, that's billions and billions of dollars that's going to affect the economy and obviously affect the government if sports don't make it through, especially like football, you know, all of these high school sports, college sports. That's billions of dollars, especially in tax revenue and stuff for, you know, local, state, and the government. If these don't go on, you know, and you can't be giving out trillions of dollars and not getting in, you know, more than what you're giving out. You can go bankrupt. The government can go bankrupt if they're not getting more in that they're giving out. They just like any other business. They need fucking money. They get their money from everybody out here, especially from rich people, like people, you know, sports. That's kind of the biggest money-making thing out here outside of, you know, music. So all of this is strung together. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't really think the government know yet, because this is all new with this COVID-19 and how things going and the way the economy is. You know, airlines, you know, sports, you know, all of these things that's going on. You know, colleges is going to have to close down again. They're going to have to. School's going to have to close down. You know, without all of these, you know, when these places close down, that means these folks ain't buying food. They're not using gas. You know, a lot of things it affect when people not spending money, going to college, going to sports games and different stuff. It affects all of that. And if it affects all that, that means the government can't, you know, charge taxes. They can't get money. So where the hell is all this going? If you know better, tell me. I don't know. It don't look good though. Peace. Show some patience. I guess wear your fucking mask. Even though, you know, they did these tests on masks. You know, some masks just ain't doing it. But the test shows some are. You know, I can see the way they doing it, you know, in those tests. It shows how the coronavirus can spread, even though I think it's even worse because, you know, when I deal with dust in my shop and doing sanding and stuff and how these particles, I mean, I can have on a real good, even a N95 mask that I wear in my shop, sanding, and when I go later on to wash, I mean, it's piled up in my nose. You know, and if that virus was on any of those particles, I would be coronavirus stuff. Be in trouble. We in trouble, but we ain't got no choice but to wait it out. You know, sooner or later, you know, the government don't step in, people gonna step in and do it themselves, try to survive themselves different ways. And it's gonna be, you know, some people not gonna be able to do it, and they just gonna give up. Which if any conspiracies, that's what the government wants. More people that's killing each other, the more people suicides and things that's going on, that's helping them get those numbers where they want it. Not 8 billion, they need to get it down to 5, 6 billion in the next 10 years or so. That's just a conspiracy theory. Look, talk to you later. Let's hope things get better. Let's hope they fucking let some of these people that got child support and other garnishments get some fucking money. I don't know how they're gonna solve the eviction thing. Oh, we got eviction protection for the next 2 months, and then December come, they end it, and guess what? People gonna owe $5,000, $7,000 for rent because it ain't going nowhere. The same fucking thing gonna happen. The landlord gonna be like, look, man. Come on, man. I ain't just let that money go to you staying in my shit for free unless the government gonna come through and pay me for that. Boom. Talk to you later. Peace.